liners and cargo liner will shield the carpeting from sand and snow.
For your interior, there's seat protector and sunshade.
Plus, mud flaps and bump step for the exterior.
Impact liner with shock-absorbing rings safeguards your truck bed from costly damage. Order American-made products at WT.com. Surf's up.
Don't buy another stock before reading this book, because when you see the returns you could be making on options versus stocks, you'll realize that in today's market, buying and holding stocks alone, it's not an option. The simple, beginner-friendly option strategies you'll learn in our new book could take your investing returns to a whole new level. And today, we'll give you a copy for free.
I got the book and I read it in a weekend, and it's just like, wow.
Kind of opened up a whole new avenue of investing for me that I never knew was possible.
On a measurable level, I'm being successful.
I have a couple stocks, but I don't have many of them anymore. It's all options for me.
I will not go out and buy shares anymore. I just buy options.
I would say if you were considering learning from John and Pete for options, it's a no-brainer. You're learning from guys who 25 plus years in the business.
I highly recommend everyone gets John and Pete's book because there's nothing else out there like it.
Get your free copy while they last at itsnotanoption.com. Itsnotanoption.com.
Lisa, I think when you took over, this was a $2 billion market cap. I think today it's above $386 billion.
Who's counting?
Everyone should get a piece of AI.
Squawk Box, 6 a.m. Eastern, and streaming on CNBC+. Become a smarter investor with CNBC Pro. Subscriber-only content from Wall Street pros like Josh Brown.
You're going to love the best stocks in the market list.
Become a CNBC Pro. Go to cnbc.com/getpro now.
All right, welcome back to Money Movers. Dan now's been sticking around for us. We got one name we still have to discuss. It's the only stock that you have returning from last year's list, Dan. So what is your final pick for 2026?
Well, I think for those investors who want to keep riding the AI wave, it's Cisco. And so let me go back to what I was thinking a year ago, which is you'd have to be out of your mind to pick Cisco for AI, right? Because Cisco's revenues had grown 1% per year for 5 years on average before that. And my thought was they've got these new products with Silicon One coming out that should help them to participate in this growing AI infrastructure build, because you're going to have to network these AI data centers together, and corporations, as that AI data starts to flow, are going to need to start upgrading their networks. And I think what you're going to see this year, is a continuation of that. And you've seen the revenues go from 1% growth on average for 5 years. It got to 5% this last fiscal year, fiscal 25. I think you're going to see that accelerate to the high single digits. And AI is a big portion of that, where revenues from the big hyperscalers, it's about $1 billion in revenues they did in fiscal 25. That should triple this next year, coming up to about $3 billion, and continue to grow from there. And then on top of that, you've got the neo clouds, the sovereigns, all of that, which is an extra $2 billion in backlog that hopefully they can start to convert. So you combine that with the trades at, when we recommended it, it was sort of a mid-teens multiple. It's now closer to 20 times. The S&P is trading at 26 times trailing. So if you say, well, you know, if they can grow closer to the market, why can't it get a market multiple? And so that's why I think you have a great deal of defense given the low multiple, plus some offense where you can play the AI trade. And look at how the stock's done this year. It's up over 30%, outperforming the Mag 7. Gives you good defense and offense all in one with the dividend.
Great. All right, Dan, we got our list. I'm going to keep track of it as you come on through the year and give you a hard time if you're wrong, depending on how wrong.
Very good.
He likes that.
Yeah,
Should like that.
Totally. Dan's always up for a good argument. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you both, Sarah and David.
Thank you, Dan. After the break, former St. Louis Fed President James Bullard will join us. We'll discuss his outlook for rates in 2026 after Fed minutes showed a pretty tight split for the December cut. We'll be right back.
AI can turn your lights on.
Lights on.
And drive your car. And even write your kid's essay. But AI ain't gonna fix your broken water line or pay for the big repair bill. Having a plan from HomeServe offers real solutions. And when a covered system breaks, we'll send a qualified contractor and pay for the repair. There's nothing artificial about the peace of mind you get with a plan from HomeServe. Getting one is quite intelligent.
Plans from HomeServe start at just $4.99 a month.
Call 1-800-324-1464. Visit homeserve.com.
This is a keepsake frame. This is actually a photo from my wedding. I'm Adam Weiss, founder and CEO of Keepsake, the mobile app that makes it easy to have your photos printed, framed, and shipped to your doorstep. You just choose a photo that you love, you can preview it in over 100 frames, and in a couple of days, you're gonna receive your photo in a beautiful, handmade frame. So if you've got a special photo on your phone, install the free Keepsake app. We would love a chance to frame it for you.
Did you know that the costs associated with auto repairs cost Americans on average $7,500? And let's face it, when it comes to those costs, it's not if you'll need repairs, it's when. Now more than ever, you can't afford to be driving without Ox Car Care. Because with A+ rated Ox, you don't pay for repairs on your car, truck, or SUV. Ox pays.
With Ox, I can take my car to my dealership just like I always have, and they'll take care of everything.
Act now, and Ox will even include free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance.
In the past, I had a really bad experience. I was passed around from phone number to phone number just to file a claim. With Ox, it's just one phone call, one company, and they handle everything.
Don't wait, or it'll be too late. You need coverage before a repair is needed. Call Ox Car Care right now.
Call 1-800-867-8040. Call now.
My dad has never been in better shape. He had a stroke and passed away, but he did an incredible thing for my family. Ethos.com. In 10 minutes, you can be covered with life insurance.
Check your price today at ethos.com.
How do we make stock gains look like chump change?
We use the beginner-friendly option strategies in our new book.
Settling for this?
When our book could show you how to make this, it's not an option.
Claim your free copy today at itsnotanoption.com.
Itsnotanoption.com.
Precise designs, subtle curves, curated upgrades, elevated design for thoughtful living. Thuma.
What's step 23?
For steps 23 through 50, please upgrade your subscription.
With the new Assemble and Bake by Blue Apron, you can whip up a crowd pleaser in no time. Pre-chopped ingredients, minimal cleanup. Just assemble, bake, and enjoy. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code NEWBLUE20.
This year, Workspace Upgrade is on a lot of holiday wish lists. So whether you want to treat yourself or get a gift for someone special, now is the time to shop the Very Holiday Sale to save up to 25% on some of our best sellers, including standing desks, office seating, and accessories that are built to last a lifetime and elevate your workdays for years to come. Shop the Very Holiday Sale right now and save up to 25%.
Welcome back. The Fed minutes out yesterday showed a tight split over the December rate cut. Let's bring in James Bullard, Dean of Purdue University's Business School, former St. Louis Fed president. It's great to have you. Welcome back, Jim.
Great to be here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. What would you be doing if you were at the Fed? Would you have voted for that December cut?
No, I actually advocated to wait and see more data and then make that move in January. And I guess there was one person on the committee, Austin Goolsbee, who made that argument and dissented in that direction. I just thought that, they didn't really have all the data in front of them. It wasn't urgent to do this in December. They could have just said, well, we're going to, get a little bit more data and then come back in January. So that was one way you could have played it, and maybe I would have played it that way.
Yeah, although, the data mostly shows, Jim, doesn't it, that the unemployment rate and that the labor market is a bigger risk right now than rising inflation, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Unemployment is very close to what most people would say is the natural rate of unemployment for the U.S., mid 4% range. You could argue about it, but so I think what's going on in the labor market data is really the immigration story and how are we counting immigration relative to the past where we didn't have such a intense policy as we have today. So that's kind of mucking up the numbers on that side. And then on inflation, we're still well above target, and you want to be somewhat restrictive in order to push inflation back to target. So I think that would be the best policy right now.
So what do you think they're going to do next year? How long do you think that the pause will last? And I mean, it's almost impossible to tell because we don't know who's going to be the chair. We don't exactly know who's going to be on the committee. But what's your best guess?
So many questions. So I think the way they got through the December meeting was to, go ahead with it at that meeting, but promised not to do very much at least in the first half of 2026. That's a common tactic on the committee, is to trade off today versus tomorrow, and they picked up 3 cents anyway on that decision. The GDP upgrade by the committee suggests that reinforces that decision, and also the dot plot, which shows only one cut next year in 2026. That is, that suggests that they're not intending to do too much very soon here. So that sort of sets up a clash with the way the politics seems to be going, where, obviously the White House wants more action than that.
Who are you rooting for Fed chair?
Oh, I know everybody. So except Rick Reeder, I've only met him, but basically I know these people, so I try to stay out of endorsements.
Do you worry about any of them and the whole question of independence? I know that came up a lot around Kevin Hassett, for instance.
I think they're all very competent, and they're certainly well qualified for the job. I think any of them, though, are going to have a severe challenge here, being able to show that they got the job, but nevertheless, they're going to pursue an independent monetary policy. That's, when I was interviewed for this, I said, well, you got to set me up for success, not for failure, and I want to come in with a clear policy mandate to do the things that I think are right. And I'm not sure that they're going to be able to distance themselves far enough from the White House to get the credibility they need in international markets.
Oh, you mean that you think that because you've gone through this process, you think that whoever is Fed chair is going to have to just be focused on what the White House wants?
Well, the White House is insisting on that. And, of course, the art of central banking is to not get caught up too much in day-to-day politics and nevertheless deliver an excellent monetary policy.
Yeah, but the bond market is a check, isn't it? Bond market will tell the Fed chair if they're doing the wrong policy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they will. But you don't want to see that if that's what happens. I mean, we've seen it before, and we've seen it in other countries.
All right. Jim Bullard, it's great to have you. Thank you for your perspective, having been there in so many ways.
Take care.
You too. Happy New Year, former St. Louis Fed president.
Still ahead, prediction markets have surged in popularity this year. What are the risks, though, for investors, and how should these markets be regulated? We're going to discuss that with a former director of enforcement at the CFTC. We're back in a moment.
In the wasteland, Ma June built a successful business, but her sales aren't the only things blowing up. If Ma June had GoDaddy Arrow, she could launch her post-apocalyptic business online in minutes. Create logos faster than a rifle lobotomy, and make her brand blast off with social media posts.
Bart, get in here. You gotta see this.
Start your digital wasteland journey at GoDaddy.com/fallout.
Have a great trip.
Do you think they'll be okay?
Nothing's gonna happen. And if it did, your parents will take care of the kids.
Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Something you can sign and make official. Get started at trustandwill.com and make it count.
Trust and Will.
Oh my God, I won. Guys, I just saw someone win an iPad for under $10.
I got this amazing Japanese knife set for just 75 cents.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56.
There's millions of fast auctions and always something to win on DealDash.com. And today, new users get a $50 bonus credit. Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you'll save.
And shipping is always free.
Is this your dream of retirement? How about this sweet deal? I like fishing. Or is this a little more your style? Retiring well isn't a guarantee, it's a goal. It's easy when markets are going up. But what about when they're not? That's why you need this.
Call for Fisher's Retirement Survival Kit, featuring your guide to surviving market volatility, our stock market outlook, plus the Fisher Investments Difference. 3 indispensable guides, yours free for calling 1-800-213-5317.
Fisher Investments' disciplined approach will help see you through the market's ups and downs and give you the confidence you need to reach a comfortable retirement. And our fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Call now for your free retirement survival kit. 1-800-213-5317.
See if your dream retirement is on track.
If your portfolio is $1 million or more, call Fisher today. Call 1-800-213-5317.
Buying or selling a home has gotten hard. Inventory is tight and interest rates are high. Making a move can be scary. That's why who you work with matters. I partner with HomeLight to help our clients win in any situation. Our buyers find great deals on their dream homes, and our sellers get top dollar, even in a challenging market. HomeLight gives our clients the edge they need, and together, we all win.
Before AG1, I was having some trouble maintaining consistency. My energy was low. And now the biggest change I've noticed is having maintained energy levels. I feel good from morning till night.
CES, it's how tech CEOs convince everybody else how they are going to own the future.
The Labor Department's December employment report.
We're talking about the future of healthcare.
We are here in Davos, Switzerland at the World Economic Forum.
Let me tell you about the assessment of the economy.
Happy holidays, Happy New Year, and see you next time.
Welcome back to Money Movers. The rise of prediction markets has been a key theme of this year. Platforms like Robinhood, Kalshi, which CNBC does have a business relationship with, and Polymarket have been used to gamble on anything from election outcomes to sports results. And the rapid rise in popularity does not appear to be slowing down. A new report finds that prediction markets could hit $1 trillion of annual trading volume by the end of the decade. Joining us here at Post 9 is former director of enforcement at the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, which regulates prediction markets. He's now a partner at Sidley Austin, Ian McKinley. It's great to have you back. Welcome. So how strongly are these prediction markets regulated at this point?
Well, they're regulated by the CFTC, right? And what's interesting, and I think an interesting starting place that a lot of people don't realize, is prediction markets have existed for decades and decades. Typically, they were on what you would think of as traditional commodities, right? Will the price of gold hit 5,000 by the end of the year? Yes or no, right? And people would take positions, and folks would hedge sometimes, right? If you were a seller of gold and you wanted protection for the downside, you would take the no. And then you saw a rapid growth recently over the last few years in elections and sports-related prediction markets. And the Biden administration actually tried to ban those contracts.
Wanted to shut it down.
That's right.
Didn't happen.
But elections have consequences. And so after the election, a new administration, a very pro-innovation, pro-growth, prediction markets fit that trend. And so now we've seen them infiltrate basically everything in our lives, right? I mean, I just saw in your previous segment you had who would be the next Fed president, and you looked at a prediction market for that. Yeah. And so and then you see them in elections now as well.
So the knock against them for those that criticize the regulation is that it's much easier to do insider trading on prediction markets because the CFTC doesn't have the heft and has been hollowed out a lot more than, for instance, the SEC. Is that true?
Well, there has been, like every agency in government, staffing cuts. So now, does the CFTC have the ability to police these markets? Yes. They have regulated and policed event contracts, designated contract markets, as they're called, essentially exchanges. But you're right, the staffing is an issue. I mean, by some reports, the Division of Enforcement, which I used to lead at the CFTC, is under 100 people, right? And now you're talking about regulating huge markets, right? Sports, prediction markets, I think that's about 90% of the volume of prediction markets now. And so there needs to be, I think, more staffing. And like any new market that is being regulated, they'll be learning. They'll be understanding from events, from things that happen, from things that go right, from things that go wrong, and for an agency to effectively regulate.
It's also moving into the financial markets. I mean, in my world, you can now go on Kalshi and see who's going to win the battle for Warner Brothers Discovery. By the way, Netflix has a 55% chance, according to the latest numbers. That can be used by investors, by risk arbs. But what are the risks here from that proliferating into so many different markets?
Yeah, so there are risks in every market, and they're similar, although they take on different forms. You know, Sarah, when I was with you last time, we talked about the first insider trading case in crypto. Yep. And what was interesting about that, we were talking new markets, right? New technology, but the alleged conduct there was fairly commonplace. It was an employee that had inside knowledge that used it for his personal gain. You see similar risks in prediction markets. I think insider trading is probably top of the list, and there have been, you know, events that have gotten a lot of publicity, right? The Nobel Peace Prize winner. That market changed very quickly. And what's interesting is that these markets are very transparent, right? So that got noticed very quickly. But insider trading is something to be on the lookout for. And we've seen it, right, in gambling markets, in the recent NBA and MLB insider betting cases, right? So it is not just a hypothetical problem. And then you have, you know, concerns of market manipulation. You know, there are things called mention markets, where what certain people say could be the subject of an event contract. That's in the control of one single person, what they mention.
But these prediction markets are a threat in many ways to some of the betting sites, or if they're not part of them, they're a threat to them. I mean, they have state regulations for all of those. Should there be a level of regulation here that doesn't exist currently for the prediction markets, in your opinion?
So actually, what you said is an interesting question. A lot of the betting markets and companies have entered the prediction market space. Yes. So that'll be something to watch, you know, just as a market event. But that's the issue that a lot of the courts are grappling with now. Are these prediction markets and the contracts on sports, is that gambling? And some courts have come out and said yes, and some courts have said no, and said actually it's something called a swap, which the CFTC regulates. Now other courts have said no, I know it when I see it, right? It looks like gambling. And so they have said that this should be regulated by the states, because the states, since gambling was legalized by and large in 2018, the states have been regulating gambling. 38 of the states have legalized it, and they have commissions that regulate it.
So what is your prediction? Is it just going to be this kind of free-for-all as long as the Trump administration has this light touch?
Well, I think you're going to see continued integration of prediction markets, and we've seen them in web browsers, in searches, in news, in sports perhaps. I think, though, this legal issue will probably reach the Supreme Court. Right now, it's in different appellate courts, and those decisions will be coming down soon. And so we'll see what the courts decide. If there's a split among the courts, the Supreme Court typically weighs in. I think also the CFTC will have to grapple with how and if to regulate these contracts, right? Some contracts we as a society may not want, right? A contract like if a wildfire is going to continue, you could see how that could create bad incentives. And so I think we'll see a lot this year.
Well, it sounds like we'll be talking to you a lot. So please come back as this story develops. Ian, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Happy New Year.
Ian McKinley from Sidley Austin.
Still ahead right here, the AI talent wars are heating up this year. OpenAI reportedly paying its employees more than any tech startup in recent history in terms of stock-based compensation. Will it pay off? We'll talk about that after the break.
Trading at Schwab is powered by Ameritrade, unlocking the power of Thinkorswim, the award-winning trading platforms. Bring your trades into focus on Thinkorswim Desktop with robust charting and analysis tools, including over 400 technical studies. Tailor the platforms to your unique needs with nearly endless customization, and track market trends with up-to-the-minute news and insights. Trade brilliantly with Schwab.
Hair thinning is not inevitable. Nutrafol Men takes a whole-body approach targeting root causes of hair thinning from within. We're giving men the support they need so they can focus on the things that matter most. Get growing at Nutrafol.com/men.
In front of the camera. Was it in front of the camera?
Yeah, you got it.
Action.
We asked our online students across the country why they chose Southern New Hampshire University.
I wanted to find a university that had a flexible program.
That flexibility was amazing. It allowed me to continue to live my life.
I went to a couple of colleges. None of them worked. But Southern New Hampshire University says that they can get you to that finish line. They get you to the finish line.
Go to snhu.edu.
My dad has never been in better shape. He had a stroke and passed away. But he did an incredible thing for my family. Ethos.com. In 10 minutes, you can be covered with life insurance.
Check your price today at ethos.com.
It's time to celebrate with Omaha Steaks end of season event. For a limited time, we're offering 50% off site-wide. That's 50% off all your favorites, like our Butcher's Classic assortment, including our USDA certified tender filet mignon and top sirloin fillets, plus chicken, pork chops, desserts, and more, all for just $99.99. Plus, you'll get 8 burgers free when you visit omahasteaks.com/TV today.
Every day, I'm checking the markets throughout the trading session, working the phones, talking to sources to share insights, information, and all of the details that you need to make money.
Closing bell overtime for Easter and streaming on CNBC+.
Precise designs, subtle curves, curated upgrades, elevated design for thoughtful living. Thuma.
Could you please submit your expenses today?
You could keep reminding your coworkers to submit their expenses. Or you could let Ramp do it. Never chase a receipt again. Ramp. Love finance.
This year, Workspace Upgrade is on a lot of holiday wish lists. So whether you want to treat yourself or get a gift for someone special, now is the time to shop the Very Holiday Sale to save up to 25% on some of our best sellers, including standing desks, office seating, and accessories that are built to last a lifetime and elevate your workdays for years to come. Shop the Very Holiday Sale right now and save up to 25%.
Tech Check is sponsored by Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Compensation for OpenAI's employees setting records in Silicon Valley, that according to the Wall Street Journal. Mackenzie Sagalos has the latest on the AI talent wars. That's in today's Tech Check. Mac?
Hey, David. So OpenAI's investor decks are basically a paste-up version of the AI arms race. The Journal reporting that the average salary across its 4,000 workers is $1.5 million in stock-based comp. That's more than 7x what Google disclosed in 2003 ahead of its IPO. It's also about 46% of revenue in 2025, a level you almost never see outside of the most aggressive pre-IPO ramps. OpenAI also reportedly loosening vesting rules. That's a retention move, plain and simple. The company is trying to keep people from walking the moment a rival calls. Now, OpenAI declined to comment on the report, and there is a big caveat to this. The Journal's comparing current data to historical data from over 20 years ago. Yes, you can adjust for inflation, but it doesn't fully reflect the fact that there is so much more money flooding cap tables and talent recruitment across Gen AI darlings, private and public. Look at Meta. Its spending shows the incentive structure is changing fast. $30 billion on talent this year, with about half effectively tied to bringing Alexander Wang in-house. It's a signal that the winners think the bottleneck is people, not just compute. Only a select few can afford these kind of pay packages, which puts OpenAI at an advantage. It can run a startup-style equity fire hose. A lot of public companies don't have that same flexibility to drastically shift internal pay bands without drawing shareholder scrutiny. And the economics of this do get ugly fast. Equity-heavy comp inflates losses and dilutes shareholders. So in 2026, the separating question is sustainability. Who can keep paying this price at scale, and who has to win with fewer outsized packages?